Most investors running the wheel strategy obsess about what expiration dates they should be choosing. Here's why I don't. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day. Today, every single person is going to get a very special ebook, our AI prompts for option sellers. So if you want that full book with those prompts, just drop a comment down below. I'll personally respond to you with all of those prompts. And while you're down there, do me a big favor of the day, right? Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. But guys, today we're talking about picking your expiration dates. I mean, guys, this is a question I constantly see across the board, across all the social media posts, various YouTube videos. People are like, okay, why do you do 30 to 45 DT? Why are you doing weeklies here? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Well, today's video, we're going to address just that, okay? First and foremost, okay? You're going to need to go get yourself these calculators and have a live premium tracker for yourself, right? These are free for you, right? Not pulling a rabbit out of that. The links to them will be in our Facebook group. They're in the description. Just introduce yourself and you can download them and hang out with all the other option sellers. But why is this important? Because this is the number one most important thing as an option seller, guys. I can't stress it enough. What is your return on collateral? Okay, that is going to dictate my expiration date. I know it's crazy, but to me, the number one most important thing when I'm selling options is what is my ROI on collateral. And then number two, what's going to give me peace of mind and confidence with this trade? Because some guys, like, listen, your boy can be degenerate sometimes too. Maybe not as degenerate as what you might consider degenerate, but sometimes I do want to go into more speculative, more high-risk plays that, hey, that checkbox for my ROI on collateral is fantastic, right? It's like, 5-6%. Oh my goodness, right? But that's a more higher risk play. I might push that expiration out a little bit further, or I might just go shorter just to get in and out of it as quickly as possible and be more reactive. But let's kind of like walk through an example of this in two different scenarios, okay? So first and foremost, you got your calculators. It's going to show you your ROI on collateral. Now we're looking for setups, all right? This video isn't going to be talking about setups, so I'll bring one up that caught my eye today. And that was Abbott Labs, right? Abbott had earnings yesterday and had a great earnings, dropped like 9%. I was on my pre-market call this morning. I'm like, yo, I'm jumping into this immediately this morning because this is a huge market overreaction. It was down like 9%. It was already in pre-market 1.4, but you know what? No time. Just immediately, just right up 3%. But with that said, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I'm thinking through this trade and how I would run it. So I went over to the options chain. We're just using Robinhood for educational purposes here. We're going to click sell a put, and this is the expiration date. So first thing I do is I usually do 30 to 45 days. I usually do that. And you're going to see why. But sometimes I will do weeklies, and I'll talk about that in a minute, right? So right out of the gate, I'm usually going to go further out. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to go further out. Why am I going to go out further? Because I want to see what kind of like my max premium, right, is going to be with as best strike as possible. You're going to see the madness here in a moment and why I start at the end first, right? So 42 days out, that's my max point for my 30 to 45 days that I can do. And then I'm looking at the strikes that I'm comfortable doing, right? I want to get into Abbott, right? Or I did want to get into Abbott. I went to the 120s, and I'm looking for my deltas, mid-20s, maybe pushing up towards 30. So I see the 21s are 33, and then the 20s are 30, and it was just a 0.29. And then I see the 119s are at 28. Okay, so perfect. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to go towards the higher end here. I have my 119s here. I'm collecting $127 of premium educational content only, not financial advice. These are only what I'm seeing at the time of me recording this video. 129 premium we are collecting here, right? We're locking up $11,900, right? 1-1. Boom. $11,900. That gives me a return of 1%. Does that fit my ROI on collateral goal? Let me see. Wait, what's our expiration? Boom, 42. So, number one, what my ROI on collateral? 1.08%. Is that appealing to me? No. No, it's not. Number two, I did my what I'm comfortable risking my assignment of Abbott, right? Which was I want to stay in that 0.2 to 0.3 delta. I'm already being a little bit more aggressive than I want to be, right? And if I'm going to be aggressive, you're going to pay me for it, right? So this does not check out. I didn't take a short. I don't even have to go look at the shorter expiration dates because the further out you go as an option seller, typically you are getting a better strike price and a better premium for that strike price. For me, I don't now. I'm done. I could just go on with my life into a different opportunity. Just that easy. This is like, I'm not kidding you. This is exactly what I do, right? Could it be wrong? Absolutely it can. I'm a dude on the internet, fam, guys. I don't go do your own research. Absolutely. Don't get financial advice from YouTube peoples. All right. But for me, that's my baseline. Didn't hit my ROI collateral goal. Does it fit my risk tolerance? Okay. Now let's get into it. Let's kind of take this a little bit further. Let's say, let's go into SoFi because we can't go a day. Listen, we can't go a day without SoFi. What do you like? Listen, this is insanity. Listen, guys, I can't wait for earnings on SoFi, guys. We're 10 days out from SoFi earnings. My goodness, we're hitting 23 today, folks. This is just a bananas. If you're following along in our live portfolio where I deposited $5,000 into it, you already know the story of what's going on with SoFi. But let's say, terrible setup, obviously, for SoFi here, guys. I mean, I think you guys can know it's towards the top Bollinger Band. Things blowing up. Probably going to hit $23 today. But let's say you wanted to sell a put on this thing, right? For whatever reason, right? And let's say we go out our max, 42 days. Right now, we're going to go find something that fits your risk tolerance is going to be different than mine, just FYI. So that's why you got to go do your own research and stuff. All right. I'm looking for the 30s. All right. 0.28 to 25s are a 0.27. That is wild to me. That is wild to me. Okay. $87 of premium. Are we ever going to see SoFi back in the teens? All right, let's get some amens because we want to see that in the comments. Drop the amens. This is crazy. 92. It already jumped up to 90. We're just going to leave it at 92 because this is moving. And then we are putting up $2,050. $2,050. Okay. Now we cooking. Right? 4.49% ROI on collateral. Okay, see, I can go down a rabbit hole of conversations here on why this is a terrible, terrible idea. Maybe not for you. Go do your own research and make your own financial decisions. But for me, this is a very, very, very risky trade. And I do not want to believe, my mind just refuses to believe that this is a 28 delta. Right? It does not compute to get almost a 4.5% on SoFi at the 2050s. But with that said, number one, does it hit let's just pretend in a world that I do want to own SoFi at $20.50. Okay. Let's just assume that. Okay. And I see this, I go out what did I do? I did 42 days, right? 42 days. I'm getting a 4.49% return on my collateral. Does that hit my ROI on collateral goal? Yes. Yes, it does. It hits my collateral goal. Cool. Number two, right? Does it hit my risk tolerance? For this educational example, we're going to say it does, even though it really does. I'm just using it as an example, right? We're going to say yes. So for me, this is something I would do. I would get into now, right? That would check my boxes. I want to own this stock, hits my ROI and collateral goal, right? Hits my risk tolerance levels, my allocations that I've set forth for myself. Fantastic. Let's roll. We've opened the trade. We collect the premium. We rinse and repeat, baby. You already know. Sell options, collect premiums, repeat, right? We keep it simple. But with that said, I would now at this level, right, go a little bit further because if I don't have to go 45 days, I don't want to add more time, guys. I want to, my ROI on collateral, when I say ROI on collateral, I'm looking for monthly ROI on collateral. If I have to go out further, I will, but I don't want to, okay? But let's go out here. Now we're going to go to around the 30-day mark because I'm like, okay, the 4.49, that's an insane ROI. Let's go 28 days and take a look at some of the cash secured puts available to us right now. So let's go take a look at the 19s. The 19s are a 0.16. Okay, let's go 21s, 32, the 20s, 23. Okay, so a little lower there, right? So this is where you got a little gotcha here. We're in a little situation, which is actually a good thing for the video. So we're going to go with the lower delta for right now. We're putting up $2K for $64. Obviously, at the time of recording, your results will 1,000% vary. $2,000. 3.20%. See, this is still kind of wild, right? That to me is still very risky. I mean, it's so risky, guys. the $20, whatever. We're going to put that aside because you already know I don't think selling puts on SoFi right now is a great idea. For me, it's not. For you, it might be. But with this, if I saw a trade like this, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting this in a 28 days expiration. We selected here, right? We're locking up our $2,000 for 28 days. We're collecting a 3.20 premium return. That's the premium divided by a collateral. This is a trade I would 100% take if I wanted to, right? This is fantastic. Now, most of the time, your trades aren't going to look this juicy, okay? And this is where we're now going to dive into some of the weeklies, okay? Now, I'm going to say this in a blanket statement, a very blanket statement that it's kind of true, but kind of not. Most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, I don't like to do weeklies on individual stocks. I do sometimes, but most of the time I don't, right? Why? Because I have to be too reactive, right? Like, guys, I've created a strategy for myself, like this over-engineered wheel strategy that I call the ARC option strategy. Yes, I'm allowed to name things that I want to, right? But with that said, I'm not necessarily going to be going for, like a SoFi weeklies. Like I am on the live portfolio because I'm just trying to have some fun. But with that said, like I'm usually do weeklies doing on like a SPY or something. And I'm not going for ROI on collateral. Okay. Big point right there. I'm not going for ROI on collateral when I do a weekly SPY wheel. Let's talk about it real quick, right? So we're going to go off to SPY, right? We're going to go trade options and I'm going to go out my 7 days. Listen, if I know if I'm busy coming up, right? Like let's say when my kid was being born, like all these things were going on. I wasn't doing weeklies because I wasn't at my computer very much. I wasn't really about to like be on my phone trying to do all these things. Like I just wasn't. Like that's what this strategy is great. If it can be as involved as you want it to be. That's what's great about this strategy. Can't stress it enough, right? The more kind of like that you put into it, right? The more you get out of it, right? The more you can micromanage it and really get into it. Yes, you're going to beat the guy that can only just does 1 trade, 2 trades a month, lets everything go to expiration. But either way, both strategies are fantastic, right? But if you like, for example, if I wanted to do a weekly SPY wheel, let's just say I go out 7 days from today, right? And I go for my risk tolerance level. I usually will be a little bit more aggressive as a SPY, but I think the market's just insane. Again, just everything depends in this space, guys. I hate saying it depends, but it does, right? So let's say I'm looking for, okay, here's a 0.27. I like to be a little bit more aggressive. Let's just do the 624s, right? So I will put, what are we collecting? $206, 206. Right? And we are putting up $62,400, $62,400. That's a lot of money for a 0.33% return in a week, right? That'll kind of get us just under 2% if we did it every single week, right? For a month, right? If we did it 4 times. Now, this, full disclosure, is more of an income play than an ROI on collateral play, right? So like, for example, during my retirement years, if you want to call them, my plan is to primarily, obviously I'll still be selling options because I think it's the greatest thing ever, right? To actually create an income. But with that said, I'm not trying to necessarily like beat the market or, try to hit like a crazy ROI. I'm simply taking my money and trying to get it to go make me more money. Why do I do it on SPY? I mean, the list is endless. SPY historically has always hit all-time highs, so it makes me a little bit more comfortable, if I get stuck holding SPY, that eventually it will recover. Guys, if you want to learn more about selling options on a weekly or monthly basis, and you want to join an incredible community that is invite only, that do this day in and day out, giving you all the resources you need, click the first link in the description of today's video. You're going to learn more about what the ARC option strategy is, and if you like what you're and you want to work a little bit closer with us, you'll be able to fill out a short application. And then if you're qualified, you're not toxic, you're financially stable, right? And we think you're a good fit for a community, we can jump on a call. We are invite only right now. This is really, really a small group of people that we want in this world with us. So if you're interested in that, click the first link in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.